Hello, and welcome back to The Culture Shift with Rosalind Jovan. Our podcast aims at inspiring the leaders of tomorrow, brought to you by Black Enterprise. Here, we like to review the success stories of today's tastemakers to encourage those who dare to dream big. Today, we're chopping it up with Amber Grimes, the respected music executive who worked her way up from big name brands and labels to her current role as vice president and general manager of the Atlanta based record label and management agency, Love Renaissance. Amber will share her rise to success in the music industry after leaving college early and how she's used her platform to launch a book club aimed at turning reading into a flex. She'll also tease what's next for LVRN's popular music artist, Summer Walker, and tell us what she has planned for her brand and her platform. So join me in welcoming the VP and General Manager of Love Renaissance, Amber Grimes. Tell us what a typical workday looks like for you.
Oh man. That's like the hardest question to answer.
I could imagine, right?
Really?
Because no day's the same.
Yeah, every day is different. I feel like, since the pandemic, the days have gotten a little bit more the same in just that Zoom calls. I think we all take them.
Yeah.
I'm in my little home office now that I set up because I work from home besides when I'm in Atlanta in the office.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I'm in front of my computer a lot. So that is usually my day on several calls. But literally just yesterday, one of our management clients, Baby Tate, she went to perform at Loyola Marymount. So we went out to her show with her. Really just like whatever roller coaster the artists take me on is what my day is like. But because I oversee our marketing and stuff, I have a lot of time to sit down in front of my computer and think and put ideas together, which is my favorite part. So either
Awesome.
I'm in a chair or I'm in my car is usually what the day is.
I mean, it sounds like fun. It's exciting, but if you're aligned with what already fuels your passion, even with a hectic day, it's like, it's not so crazy.
Yeah, nothing's more hectic than Zoom, surprisingly. It's those back-to-back calls, man. I am
Yes.
rallying for more in person with people now.
Yeah, I know. For with my role, I do a lot of it remotely, but like when we do, if I do a junket where it's face to face in person, those are my favorite because mostly everything I do now is just just kind of solo dolo. But with the junket, I'm able to interact with people, and yeah, you kind of miss that face to face interaction. It's so valuable. Um, so now, what excited you most about the work overall that you've been doing as an executive in the music industry?
What's excited, like ever, like the whole time, what's excited me most?
Yeah.
Um, Really helping brand artists. That's what I got in the business for. I am a millennial, so I am obsessed with superstar artists because that's what I came up on. So the beauty of where we're at now, where there I think are different tiers of artists. What my generation was like if you were on 106 in Parker TRL, you were famous, and it was like, oh my God, who's this lady Beyonce? And then you follow their journey, until she is who she is. That's Rihanna, that's an Aaliyah, that's like anybody who I saw. I felt like as soon as they got on our screen, they were respected as a top tier artist, and you would
Right.
watch them. The ones that I feel like had budding, beautiful careers,
Right.
brand themselves and learn about them and come into their own. And now getting to be on the other end of that, being a person who helps an artist figure out what their brand is, how they want to communicate that brand, how they can communicate that brand, sharing it with people, measuring how it's received, tweaking, pivoting, having artists go through these three different stages of like introducing themselves and establishing themselves and ultimately reinventing themselves, which is where we're at a lot of the times with older acts or legacy acts.
Yeah.
All of that is so, sorry, nerdy, exciting to
I
me.
love it.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I can see your passion in that. What was your take on, there's a lot of debate around artist development and what millennials even would see and say is a lack of artist development compared to the Beyoncés and the Rihannas of the early 2000s to now, where you might see an artist blow up on social media and then they're performing at festivals and going on like tours, and people are saying the lack of a performance factor and even media training, just things that used to come along with developing an artist. What's your take on that?
Yeah, let me see how I can explain. The brand and the artist development can be separate. They
Hmm.
definitely go together, especially back in my time, because I feel like a lot of the artists, we don't actually know who they are because they were being developed so much. So I don't know if some of my favorite artists' personality was really what I thought it was in the 90s. That's what somebody told them was going to work. And then they showed up as that person. And then I feel like you see a lot of artists trying to get out of what they presented to us because that's not truly who they are, right?
Hmm.
Um, for artists nowadays, I think there's a little beauty in people being authentic all on their own. Um, you can't artist develop a sexy red as far as a brand goes. She knows who she is. She knows
Hmm.
exactly what she's talking about. She knows how to communicate it. And I feel like she knows who it's for and who it's not for, and she doesn't care. And I think that is a very authentic thing that you can help expand on, you can help develop, you can help say, hey, you know what? You and how you dress authentically, a Ed Hardy collab is the right collab for you. It's not Victoria's Secrets, it's Ed Hardy. That is like helping develop the artist brand. But a brand is authentic and it's natural. And I think when you look at somebody like her, she's my favorite example right now. She just is exactly who she said she was the first time she told us that I'm her. And
Yeah.
so I think people confuse that a little bit of the time as like an artist's brand isn't together because they haven't been developed. Like,
Right.
sure, we can help somebody be better on stage. We can get people vocal lessons. We can get that like hard training that I think a lot of artists skip before they go perform at Coachella. And it's like, girl, you needed a movement coach. Like,
Yeah.
let's straighten this up. But I think a real star, like that's in somebody. That's not something
Mm.
that you can put on someone. So I think people confuse the two a little bit. Those hard skills that you can teach an artist on how to be their best self.
Yeah.
And just naturally what somebody comes with because they are a superstar from the time that they were born.
I love how you put that. And from the brand side of it, just kind of opening that perspective of like a brand is organic, it's natural. At Love Renaissance, you guys are focused on pioneering new pathways for Black global artists to grow their careers across multiple genres. What are some ways that we, the viewer, can see this in the current artists on your roster?
How they're growing into different genres.
Yeah, and on a global scale.
Yeah, I'd say we have a developing artist named Sad Boy. She's super talented, has a lot of range, and I think she came in trying to figure out which part of herself or her talent she wanted to share.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that she got that experience of being an artist and putting this out and putting that out. And this didn't work. Oh, this worked a little bit, but we're not quite there. And then she put out a song called Slide that has like a little Brazilian funk to it. And she just happened to naturally gravitate towards that beat. She liked the vibe. It's very lively and chaotic, like she is. And um, she got a great response to that. And so, like, now she has all of these Brazilian fans. She's from Canada. And it's like, all right,
I love it.
how do we make this all work, right? And I think for us it's always a trial and error and a learning lesson because we're like, okay, people in Brazil love her. What is her connection to Brazil? How can we galvanize these fans? We have to make more Brazilian funk music if you genuinely love it. Making sure that she's in the culture, working with Brazilian artists. It's just really like once you find something that works, I think you have to figure out how to expound on that and always like be for real. I think that that's our thing. Like we're not just like, oh, go work with a Latin artist because
Right.
Latin's hot right now. We're doing a lot of work in the African music space because most of us are African and it's music that we love and it's a sound that, like an artist like Black, he's always done these type of features or it's something that's organic for him. So he's literally in South Africa right now performing because he has a huge South African fan base. So I think we just like understand that music's global,
Right.
especially Black music. That
Mhm.
has not always been the norm, exported or imported. And now that everybody seems to love global music all of a sudden. I love that. This is
Yeah.
very new territory. I feel like we're like right at home, which is why we've seen a lot of success in being able to share what we've done on US soil with a lot of artists from around the world.
I see that the label invested in the Jerk and Jollof event series. And it's, to work to expand the Afro Caribbean market, to expand into that market. What was the strategy in this, and how will you use that to maybe help the artists on the label?
We would not be LVRN if we weren't throwing a party. I think that's been building experiences has been a big part of how this business, even before I was a part of it, has grown and made its name.
Mhm.
It's bigger than the music. It's always bigger than that. It's bigger than the music. It's bigger than the artist. It's a lifestyle and I think an experience that we are selling to the fan for this whole label. We don't only want you to love one of the artists, we want you to love their home base, right? I think when we started moving into these other markets, it was very important for us to be authentically providing an experience there too, and having a platform to bring that music here to the US and all around the world. So Jerk and Jollof was something that Tunde, president of LVRN, something that he loved organically, an event that he was going to, enjoying himself, but like really just loving what they do and what they were providing to spaces like Jerk and Jollof being at New York Fashion Week. I think that party and the growth of that party is like pretty parallel with what was happening with the music. And so I really feel like it only made sense, instead of us trying to go start our own thing, also being a company that was created by 5 first-generation immigrants. I think 4 of them college dropouts, figuring it out. We also want to be able to reinvest in other people's business and helping them grow, other young Black men and women, instead of just saying, okay, we can do this idea ourselves. Let's collaborate and let's do it together and uplift each other. So I think that's really what it was about. And yeah, Jerk and Jollof is our platform to throw experiences and parties and provide these things in different countries, to bring a little bit of what we call home and our label to these more, Americanized events that
Mhm.
are happening over here, and bringing a taste of our culture, whether it's food, music, environment here, and yeah, playing our artist music there and breaking
Right.
some artists and some songs.
Right. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. So yeah, you were mentioning about some of the, the founders of LVRN and the college background. I also read that about yourself. Like, you are a hustler. So you've really been like working your way up in this game. But you didn't finish college, correct?
No, no, ma'am.
Right. So just tell us, because it's unheard of, for particularly even in the entertainment space, but as a Black woman, you really just went out and did it, and you've done it successfully, to build such an impressive portfolio as a millennial, because we're not old over here. Um, what would you say, not even was your secret, what was your mindset as you were going to navigate this industry? And there has to be just a great level of just fearlessness and confidence. So just tell us about a little of your background before coming into the industry, and how you got there without
Yeah,
this prestigious school behind you, I guess.
I'm just a doer. And I've always learned by doing. And I move fast. And I think at the time, you couldn't even learn about what I wanted to do. I don't know what I was in school for, honestly. I don't know if my major was undecided. I don't remember. I just knew that I was already doing what I wanted to do. So at that time, I was in Atlanta. I was throwing parties, managing artists, and just already, I obviously also had a huge ego, which was very necessary in this in life, not in this business, in life. Like, you have to believe in yourself on another level to believe that you can do something that not everybody does. Looking like me, being a woman, being how old I was, I really believed in myself. I think that's just like number one. I'm like, I don't care what anybody else thinks is hard or what you have to have a degree for. I am working for this thing that I really want. And I think if I work every day, I'm going to be closer to it so nobody can tell me anything. That was my mindset. But yeah, I was already in it, to me. And when I got an opportunity to really be in it, when I got my first job offer, to be an executive assistant at Def Jam, to me, it was very important to give my all to what I wanted to do. I'm not very good at okay, cool, I'm gonna do 50% of school and then I'll 50% at the job.
Right.
Whatever I wanted to do, I had to decide to give one of those things 100%. And I chose for it to be this career path that I hope would put me exactly where I am today. But it wouldn't have happened that way if I didn't choose that's what I think. So uh, yeah, I bet on myself, and I'm a good gambler.
That's it. Period. So now take us inside Amber's book club. It's your nonfiction community with the purpose of turning reading into a flex. I love that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. It's
Uh,
such a millennial way of, because just make everything cool. But yeah, tell us what made you inspired you to start it and how you marketed it.
yeah, I love reading, specifically nonfiction. I did not fall in love with reading until I was like 25. Because we read a lot of fiction in school, as everyone knows. I think we should have more nonfiction in school, working on that. But until I found the books that I really love that spoke to me, because I'm a doer, when I started reading like self-help books and being able to apply what I read to a situation tomorrow, or my knowledge, being somebody who dropped out of college, I'm sometimes like the word hustler bothers me because it seems like scammy almost.
Hmm.
And it was very important to me to know what I was doing. And so a lot of things that I learned about how to do this job was from a book. I have a lot of young girls and young men that ask, for mentorship. And I'm like, man, I can't mentor everybody, but like everything that I know, also, I read somewhere. I
Mm.
like to act like information is a secret. And so promoting books has always been something that's important to me, and promoting reading. Um, I think, there comes a time in everybody's life and in different parts where you feel like you want to give back and give something back to yourself and to people that isn't just your job. And I think it was probably 2 years ago when I was like, okay, I'm ready to do something that is for me. I spend a lot of time and energy promoting other people's brands and building other people's brands and coming up with marketing. And that's very fulfilling. I love everybody, but it's even more fulfilling to be able to do something like that for you. Know that it's impacting the world in a specific way. This was my thing. This is how I wanted to give back to people. Um, and in the industry that I'm in, we flex a lot of things. This is what I'm wearing. This is my chain. This is girl 40-inch bust down, all the things that we do. And nobody talks about the books that they read. Nobody wants to flex the information that they know. And I'm like, I started the book club because I thought that people didn't read. But what I learned when I got into it is that a lot of people read, they just don't talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk about a lot of baseless things.
Yes.
Nobody talks about information. So I could probably say a million more things, but I had all the reasons in the world to use my platform to try to talk about something important.
Hmm.
I'm guilty of, look at my outfit, look at what I'm working on today. I'm with my artist. Read a book. Here's a suggestion for you. Yes, you might like this one. That's my give back. It's my give back to myself first and foremost. Because it's very, very important to do something for you. This is a thankless job. It's a thankless business. A lot of careers can be thankless. And if you don't pour into you and find something that you enjoy, that's how you burn out. So it's for me, first of all. And then second, I think, as fortunate as I am for the career that I've had and the life that I live, I have to put something else back into the world that's important. And if I can help people discover a love for reading, buy a book that they never read, but still have it in their house, whatever it is that I do for you, that's what I wanted to leave with the world.
What's been your favorite response to the book club?
My favorite response, I'm glad you asked this question. What a great question. My favorite response to the book club, I was out at an event probably 2 weeks ago, and a young lady, a photographer, was there, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to take a picture?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take a picture." And then she goes, "Oh my God, you're the book lady." And I was like, "Yes, yes, I am the book lady." I love that because I'm not big on labels, but I've been so many other things to people,
Yes.
about my career only. And first of all, I'm Amber Grimes, like first and foremost, but I am the book lady. I'm multifaceted on many things, and being able to officially add that, she officially added it to my resume. Um,
Okay.
I could have cried, but it also let me know that I've done an incredible job the same way that I have helped brand artists brand something for myself. And kind of reinvent myself in a way. So I was just very thankful for her kindness.
I love that. That's beautiful. So what's next? What's next for Amber Grimes? What's next for the book club? And what's next for LVRN?
What's next for LVRN? I am excited. Just this last week, we started rolling out some Summer Walker album talk. Always one of my favorite projects to work on since I've joined the company, and even before when I was at Spotify. She's an incredible artist. It's always fun trying to figure out how we're gonna market a project for an artist that doesn't love to be on the internet. But it's like a real mental exercise to figure out, okay, how can we be the loudest about what she has coming next and use what she is willing to give the world, to just cause conversation for her. And I think we just did something last Friday with teasing the album name and letting the fans guess. That was really, really fun. And I love that. So I'm excited for new Summer Walker music and album that's
We
coming.
all are.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I hope everybody is. But there's that for LVRN. Literally everybody but me is out the country right now because we are really becoming a global company. I think Tunde's in Australia, June is in South Africa, Justice is in London right now. We're not playing any games about music being global and LVRN being global. We are boots on the ground everywhere we are because we are coming into these markets authentically and genuinely, and we want to build with the people there and also help them build their companies again the same way that people have allowed for us to do that. So for LVRN, it's like global domination.
And the smiles that you gave me with that, Tyra would be proud. And I know you're not playing. I see it in your eyes.
That's what's next, okay? Summer Walker and global domination. For Amber Grimes, besides helping make sure all of those things I just said happened. It's really that, just continuing to put things back into the world that I love and that I'm proud of. Whether that be personally in my job, I put all of that love into my job. I think I enjoy what I do even more when I know I have a separate outlet for Amber Grimes. And I'm excited to write. I'm working on writing a book because I get a lot of information from books, but there's information that's missing specifically about my story and about the music industry as a whole. And so if it's not there, it is my responsibility to put it into the world. So I'm excited to do that.
Well, I'm rooting for you, and I'm happy that I could catch up with you ahead of all these amazing things. Thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with us. And I look forward to sharing this with the Black Enterprise audience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're fantastic.